You know what I'm saying? With Saturn in the 4th house, it's right here. It's like, okay, we need to gain stability around something. We need to get something practical, and we need to get some ball rolling. But right here, the only thing it got to deal with is domestic issues. How to handle oneself in the privacy of his own home. You know what I'm saying? Or where it feel most comfortable at. So with Saturn here, it's like, oh, hold on. I can't work with this. I can't make no money off this. I can't make no money off feelings. I can't make no money off your personal issues, what you going on through in your life. Saturn sitting here like, man, Saturn, man, I can't get to the store because of how you feel. We can't get to Disneyland because of how you think it look. We gotta work. We gotta shit. So, you know, Saturn is like, goddamn, they got a Saturn moving through all this water. Saturn already don't give a fuck about light. So Saturn can't even see where it's going. It's like, man, what the fuck is this shit? This shit crazy. But once Saturn learn how to do this shit, they be way perfect, way more better than anybody else. And once they get it, it never let it go. So it's like this. Saturn in the 4th house is you're here on this earth to try to gain try to come up with a foundation inside you that you can always place your emotions and feelings in, so it don't get too erratic. So basically, this is like a cup inside of you that always trying to catch water. Every time water is being shot down or people shooting water at you and shit like that, aka the emotional weight. So you got this cup inside you that be just trying to catch that shit, and every time it can't catch it, and you get splashed on at times, you get frustrated. You get because you're dealing with shit that you want to deal with. That's Saturn in the 4th house. I hope y'all understand my metaphors, because the people who got Saturn in the 4th house, I guarantee y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's hard to be a crutch for someone when you can't even be a crutch for your goddamn self at times. Then when you do need a crutch, who can you go to? You know what I'm talking about. Saturn's in the 4th house. You know. So it's like you gotta kind of balance it. You kind of gotta balance. You kind of gotta just make sure you put your emotions and feelings in the right places. Put it into things like if you need a job. Put it into things don't put it into things of negative nature, or of things that why you don't got this, or why you don't got that, or why you in this situation, or why don't put your energy in that. Put your practical energy into things that you can see results regardless of how you feel, because you're gonna feel about it. That's one thing I'm just have to tell you, and that's all about life, balancing it. So with Saturn in the 4th house, you're just gonna have to deal with that. Boom. Let's go to Uranus. Now Uranus is change, rebellion, but it's also uniqueness and originality. Now you need all these in one and the same, because look, if you're gonna be running around here unique and original, right, off the back it's gonna be changing someone else's way of doing it. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be rebelling against someone else's way of doing it. So you need all these one in a hand. That's why all revolutionaries and all that shit fail, because at the end of the day, it was unique and original movement, but it rebelled against something. So it had to transform. It had to change forms. So now, when we talk about Uranus in the 4th house, this is what's going to happen with all your domestic issues, with all your how you deal with yourself, how you conduct yourself amongst the privacy of your own home, or wherever you feel most comfortable at. So right here, when you got motherfucking Uranus here, you're gonna witness a lot of changes. You may even change homes a lot. You know what I'm saying? It can manifest like that. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna change. You got a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings changing all the time, rapidly. You know what I'm saying? Now this is gonna make you a very unique person when it comes to this. You deal with domestic issues, very unique, very original. You know what I'm saying? Even when it comes to being in the privacy of your own home, your room may be very unique, very original. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, there's always changes going on. There's always rebellion going on. And that's why you may be constructed to do that, because you may have witnessed so many changes in your life that it make you to the point that wherever you do move to, in whatever room you do go in, you got your own specific possessions and your own specific way of how you do it. Because throughout your life, you find yourself having to set up shop in these ways all the fucking time. So it just becomes second nature to you. It ain't something, and then you look at it as normal, but other people look at it like, this person unique, this person original. I never seen somebody who do their bed like that, or I never seen somebody who got a little table like that. You see what I'm saying? It's like little shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So with Uranus in the 4th house, you get that kind of energy. Pardon me. Now, when you want to talk about, let's talk about the bad side, because you know, too much radicalness, too much change, too much rebellion, too much shit like that, it could put you in a situation where it's like, okay, you could be in a situation where everybody needs something to be stable. Everybody needs something to be on one flat form. Everybody needs to be on one page. And you want to be the party pooper, for good or bad. You want to change everybody to feel the way you feel. You want to come make opposing this, and when everybody just needs something to be fixed. You see what I'm saying? Fixed. And you come and trying to change shit. You know what I'm saying? This is what make Aquarius fixed but changeable in the thoughts, because of that Uranus aspect. So they stubborn with how they communicate, but the things that they think change all the time. This is what make, you know what I'm saying? So, but for the sake of Uranus being in the 4th house, Uranus don't really like to be here either, but for the sake, it doesn't do as bad as Saturn. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's going to bring a lot of changes, but it's also going to bring a lot of uniqueness and originality to the point how you carry yourself and conduct your emotional stability. Now, let's get to Neptune. Neptune in the 4th house. Now, with Neptune in the 4th house, Neptune is dreams, illusions, but it's also creativity and imagination. You need all these one and the same. Because when you have a dream and an imagination, right? When you dream too much, people could think you living in an illusional world. You know what I'm saying? They can think you live in an illusional world. But when you dream and have an imagination, it makes you creative. This is why Neptune is dreams and illusions and creativity and imagine motherfucking nation. Goddamn, nigga. Because I'm from the dragon world where that Magi nation. Goddamn, flight balls. But look, check me out. Neptune in the motherfucking 4th house right here. This makes you very creative in the home. Very artsy. Very, fantasy. You like a lot of art, cartoon, you like to relate certain things that you have in the home to things that you may have experienced in the world. Movies, shows, colors, numbers, shapes, sigils. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's an expression. You got a dreamy type of way. Your room could look like anybody's room, but the way you see it will be like no other. You know what I'm saying? No other. You know what I'm saying? And people will sense that energy off you. You know what I'm saying? So this makes you very creative, very imaginative. But also when it comes to the home, I want you to know this also. You know, too much dreaming, too much sleepiness, too much illusions can make you not understand what's really going on. So you could be aloof to what's really going on amongst your world. People could be taking advantage of you, you don't even know it. People could be stealing shit from you right up under your motherfucking nose. So learn how to see through them illusions. Keep a motherfucking dream journal. And make sure you express your creativity in your home or wherever you feel most comfortable at, because that's where it's going to come out. That's where it's going to expound. That's where it's just going to just flow out and fluid everywhere. And your house going to be so wet, and it ain't going to be technically wet. But what I mean by that is the expression that Neptune going to draw out and the mist that's going to be in your home, people going to pick it up. People who walk into your home going to end up creative. They going to leave your house like, God damn, what the fuck was that? I got the spirit. For real. You know what I'm saying? Neptune would do that. Neptune puts mist out wherever it's at. So if it's in the 4th house, it's putting mist out. And make sure whatever you channeling, as you being the Neptune in the 4th house person, that's the mist it's going to put out. That's the creative spirit it's going to put out. You know what I'm saying? So that's the imagination it's going to put out. So try not to be a depressed person. Try not to be an underachiever. Try not to feel bad about everything. Try not to feel guilty about everything, because people, that's gonna be picked up. That's the bad side. So people are gonna have creative ways to talk about a depressive situation to you. People gonna have imaginary ways to talk about something bad to you. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? You get what I'm trying to say? It ain't really good or bad when it's in my world I live in. But as I'm able to see it in y'all density, that's how it will play out. So you gotta have to understand that. So be aware of that. Last but not least, Pluto. Pluto in the 4th house. And I have this placement. I have the moon and Pluto in the 4th house. So now, with Pluto in the 4th house, check me out. Now, Pluto brings deep transformation, deep willpower, deep intentions. So when I say I got a flight cave with the moon already being here, I deeply believe that. You probably looking at this shit like, this shit is a basement or whatever like that. No, nigga, it's the flight cave. You can't tell me that nigga, I ain't got everything that Batman ain't had in his shit. Flight mobile outside, every motherfucking thing. You can't tell me I don't. That's an example of that right there. Pluto in the 4th motherfucking house. Now, also with Pluto in the 4th house, You know, this is where the human can dive the deepest into understanding mankind, when they're to themselves, in their own space, in their own mind, and this is where that person flees off. I mean, really flees off into the yin realm. Now, Pluto is slightly in the spirit and the yin realm. It's not completely in the spirit realm like Jupiter. Pluto deals with the desires. Pluto deals with, you know, passion and shit like that. And for you to desire something, it takes time and experience to manifest that and create that. So that's fluid right there. But it deals with spirit because it still has the idea to want to dive deep with that. So, you know, when it comes into the 4th house right here, this is how you deal with domestic issues. This is how you deal with how you gain emotional stability within yourself. You actually feel like there's no outer source in this world that can help you with your inner world. So you create an outer world in your inner world that you can go to yourself. So you brood without brooding. You know how to brood without brooding. You know how to actually be you without being you. You know how to actually have what you're going through and have other people around you go through what they're going through, but you are able to set aside what you're going through and leave it in the same level of everything else and be able to jump back into yours by yourself. You see what I'm saying? It's like a more of a power thing, but the power comes with your own emotions, your own domestic issues, your own emotional stability, your own way of how you deal with things in the privacy of your own home, or wherever you feel most comfortable at. So it's kind of like Pluto is its own baggage. So it never puts its baggage on others. It's always its own baggage because it feels like this baggage isn't even a baggage of this world to be released in anyway. So Pluto and 4th house people, a lot of times the stuff that they feel, they don't necessarily feel like it's even something that an average person would feel anyway to be expressed upon. So they deal with a lot of inner ways of coming to conclusions. You know what I'm saying? And no one will really understand that except a Pluto in the 4th house person to themselves. This ain't something that they can explain to others. This is only something that they can kind of know to themselves. And anytime they get into a mode of trying to explain it to others, it's going to get diluted into programs and concepts of how people already think of themselves. So like I said, here's the good thing about it is this makes you a space of itself. This makes you a home. You're a walking home. So it's like it don't matter where you go, you look at yourself as a position of making yourself comfortable in all situations, or making yourself. So early in life you may have grew up and experienced a lot of erratic situations because that was trying to teach you that in the future you're going to be dealing with these same situations, and these situations are not scary. They're just emotional constructs within fluid, which is time and experience, and these are not something to harper over to create more time and experiences around it. So you learn that early in age. So you have a control issue with the fluid realm itself. Like instead of having control issues with people, you have control issues of why all people like that in general. You see what I'm saying? So you're dealing with a different type of energy. Now with the bad part about it is this. You're never going to be understood. So whatever area you have to yourself in your home, that's yours for a reason. It wasn't made for other people to understand. It wasn't made for other people to be let in. It wasn't made for people to understand where you're coming from. So once you get a grip of that and be comfortable with yourself, then people will accept you for who you are, and they will learn how to be comfortable with themselves. So you won't have to witness no opposition because you didn't give out nothing to oppose. See, that's the only bad part about it. See, and when the higher the planets, the lesser the examples get, because the energy take a little further, a little longer to reach this density. So that's the only aspects Pluto actually have right now. It's going to draw in whatever that sign is and draw it into that area of life where it deals with control and things of that nature. Planets in the motherfucking 4th house. Flight boss, bitch, goddamn.